Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session today. I'm excited to introduce you to Mega Goal 3.1, Unit 5 reading. Today's topic is Do You Really Need It? We're going to explore some interesting ideas about our everyday choices and how we decide what's truly necessary. Over the next few minutes, we'll look at some key concepts and tips to help you think critically about your needs versus wants. Let's get started. Now, let's take a closer look at the techniques used in advertisement. As we explore this, I want you to think about how advertisers try to catch our attention and influence our choices. We'll discuss some questions about the text to help us understand it better and identify the specific information that stands out. Throughout our daily lives, we see ads everywhere, on billboards, TV, social media, even on our phones. Recognizing where we encounter these ads helps us become more aware of the techniques used to make them effective. On this slide, you'll notice the objectives. First, we want you to read carefully and understand the key points. Then, you'll be asked to name the techniques, talk about them, and answer questions. These are all ways to deepen your understanding of how advertising works. So, as we go through this, keep in mind that understanding these techniques not only helps us be more critical viewers, but also enables us to make informed decisions about the ads we see every day. It means advertisement. Do you remember these ads? What does it really mean? Well, in simple terms, an advertisement is a message designed to catch your attention and persuade you to buy a product or try a service. Think about the ads you see on TV, online, or even on billboards. They're all trying to communicate something important about a brand or a product. Now, why is this important? Because advertisements play a huge role in how businesses reach their customers. They're a key part of marketing and branding strategies, helping companies stand out in a crowded market. So, as we go through this presentation, keep in mind how advertisements influence our choices and perceptions every day. So, when we think about transport advertising, it's clear that our messages reach us through a variety of channels. For example, the internet plays a huge role today, allowing brands to target specific audiences online. Social media platforms are also key, where ads are seamlessly integrated into our daily scrolls. Our phones are another powerful medium. Notifications, banners, and ads pop up just as we're about to check something important. Magazines and newspapers remain relevant, especially for reaching niche or more traditional audiences. Billboards, of course, are a classic form of outdoor advertising, grabbing our attention as we commute or travel. Radio and TV continue to be essential, offering audiovisual ads that can reach millions simultaneously. So the question is, where do we see or hear ads? The answer is everywhere, on the internet, on our phones, in print, on the streets, and through broadcast media. This illustrates just how pervasive advertising has become in our daily lives. So what's the title of this lesson? Well, it's to purchase something and also to accept, believe, or support something. Now, you might notice that the word buy has two different meanings here, and that's actually a key point, because understanding these two meanings helps us see how versatile this word really is. You might wonder, why is buy in quotation marks? That's because we're highlighting that the word can be used in different ways depending on the context. When we say buy in the context of purchasing, it's quite straightforward, like buying a shirt or a book. But in a different context, to buy into something means to accept or support an idea or belief. So in this lesson, we're exploring both meanings. How buy can mean literally purchasing something, and also how it can mean accepting or believing in an idea. Recognizing these different uses is important because it helps us communicate more clearly and understand conversations better, especially in situations involving persuasion or agreement. This dual meaning is a great example of how language evolves and how context shapes the meaning of words. Keep this in mind as we move through the lesson, because it ties into our broader theme of understanding language in real-life situations. So let's take a moment to consider the title and its two possible meanings. First, it might refer to the literal words or phrases used in the title itself, which can shape how we perceive the topic. Second, it could also be about the broader implications or themes that the title hints at, like consumer culture or advertising influence. Now, thinking about our daily lives, do you accept the practice of being exposed to advertisements everywhere? I mean, we see ads on billboards, social media, even in our apps. It's become such a pervasive part of our environment. And when you see these advertisements, do they influence your buying decisions? Are you more likely to purchase a product just because you saw an ad for it? Or do you sometimes ignore them? This is really at the heart of what we're exploring today. How advertising impacts us, both consciously and subconsciously, and how it ties into the larger conversation about consumerism and media influence. Let's take a look at these two cities, Jeddah and Riyadh. Do you recognize them? These cities are two of the most important urban centers in Saudi Arabia. Jeddah, located on the Red Sea coast, is known as the gateway for pilgrims heading to Mecca and has a vibrant, cosmopolitan vibe. Riyadh, on the other hand, is the capital and the political and economic heart of the country, with a rapidly growing skyline and a focus on modernization. Recognizing these cities helps us understand the diversity and the strategic importance of different regions within Saudi Arabia. They also exemplify the country's blend of tradition and progress, which is a key theme in our overall discussion. Now, let's take a closer look at how many advertisements people are actually exposed to in a single day. It might surprise you to learn that the average person encounters hundreds, if not thousands, of ads daily across various platforms. From TV and social media to billboards and online banners, these messages are everywhere. This high frequency of exposure plays a significant role in shaping our perceptions, preferences, and even our purchasing decisions. It's important to recognize this because it ties directly into the overall theme of how advertising influences our daily lives and consumer behavior. Understanding the sheer volume of ads we see helps us become more aware of the subtle ways marketing impacts us, often without us even realizing it. Today, we're going to explore how advertisements reach people these days. So, what do you think you'll learn from this part? Well, we'll look at the different ways companies connect with us through advertising. You'll see that it's not just about TV or newspapers anymore. Digital platforms, social media, and even mobile apps play a huge role in how ads are delivered. We'll discuss how these methods are tailored to grab our attention and influence our choices. This ties into the overall theme of understanding how marketing shapes our daily lives. By the end, you'll have a clearer idea of how pervasive advertising has become and how it's constantly evolving to stay relevant and effective. Today, we're exploring unconventional places of advertisement, a really fascinating aspect of marketing strategy. Think about how brands are really pushing the boundaries by placing their ads in unexpected locations. This approach grabs attention in ways traditional ads simply can't. For example, you might see a billboard on the side of a building, or street art that doubles as an ad, or even product placements in unusual spots like on the sides of skateboards or inside elevators. These creative placements make the audience stop, think, and engage more deeply. What you'll learn here is how these unconventional methods stand out from the usual ads and why they're so effective in capturing attention. They often blend into the environment or become part of the local culture, making the message more memorable. Connecting this to the overall theme of our presentation, it shows how innovation and creativity are key in making marketing campaigns successful. It's all about thinking outside the box and meeting consumers where they least expect it. Let's talk about the best way to get the consumer's attention. So, what do you think you'll learn from this part? Well, first, it's all about understanding what truly captures someone's interest. It's not just about loud advertisements or flashy visuals, but about creating a connection. We'll explore strategies that make your message stand out in a crowded marketplace. I'll highlight how important it is to understand your audience's needs and preferences. Connecting this to our overall theme, it's about building meaningful engagement that lasts. When you tap into what resonates with your audience, you increase your chances of making a memorable impression. So, stay focused on these key points, because mastering this will really elevate your marketing game. Today, we're going to explore what might be the strangest development in advertising. What do you think you'll learn from this part? Well, we're going to dive into some surprising trends and innovations that really challenge our traditional ideas of advertising. It's fascinating to see how these unexpected changes are shaping the future of the industry. By the end of this, you'll understand how these unusual developments connect to the broader shifts we're witnessing in marketing and consumer engagement. So let's get into it and uncover what makes this development so extraordinary and what it means for all of us involved in advertising. So this slide is all about buzz marketing. Essentially, buzz marketing is a strategy that aims to create excitement and word of mouth around a product or service. The main idea here is to generate a sense of buzz or hype that spreads naturally among consumers. It's not just about traditional advertising. It's about creating a conversation and making the brand feel more relatable and engaging. When done effectively, buzz marketing can significantly boost awareness and credibility because people tend to trust recommendations from friends or peers more than from ads. As we see in the overall presentation, leveraging this approach can really amplify the impact of your marketing efforts, making your message more memorable and contagious. So this slide is about the advertisement everywhere. What I want to highlight is how pervasive advertising has become in our daily lives. It's not just in traditional media like TV or newspapers anymore. No, it's everywhere on billboards, on transit, on our social media feeds, even embedded subtly in the apps we use. This constant exposure shapes our perceptions and influences our choices without us even realizing it. The main idea here is that advertising is omnipresent, and that's a powerful force in how we experience the world. It connects to the overall theme of how media influences us, often in ways we might not fully notice. So, understanding this saturation helps us become more critical consumers of media and advertising. So, did you know that the average person is exposed to between 400 and 600 advertisements every single day? That's a huge number, and it really shows how saturated our environment is with marketing messages. When we think of traditional advertising, we often picture TV commercials, newspaper ads, and magazine ads. These are classic approaches that have been around for decades and still play a significant role in reaching consumers. But there's also some pretty strange developments in advertising, like selling advertising space on people's bodies. It might sound bizarre, but it's a real thing now. Think tattoos or temporary body ads that serve as walking billboards. And then there's buzz marketing, which is considered one of the sneakiest types of advertising. It's all about creating hype and word-of-mouth buzz in a way that feels more genuine, but it's often carefully planned behind the scenes to influence consumer behavior subtly. All of these points connect back to our overall theme: how advertising constantly evolves and adapts to capture our attention in a crowded, competitive environment. Let's take a closer look at how different types of advertising and marketing influence our choices. On this slide, you'll notice the mention of TV and social media, which are two major platforms that shape consumer behavior. These channels often promote a wide range of products, from candies and toys to social media itself. For example, candies and toys are commonly advertised to children through TV commercials and social media campaigns, making these products highly appealing and desirable. Moving further, social media doesn't just promote products directly. It also influences trends through videos, influencers, and peer interactions. When we think about more adult-oriented products like mobiles, cars, clothes, and perfumes, social media plays a significant role here too. It's where brands showcase their latest offerings, create aspirational images, and engage with consumers on a personal level. Overall, what's important to understand is that these channels, TV and social media, are central to how brands reach us and persuade us, whether we're talking about toys for kids or luxury items for adults. They shape our preferences and purchasing decisions in powerful ways that are connected to the overall theme of consumer influence and marketing strategies. Let's take a look at the final slide, which points us toward the workbook, page 274, specifically exercise J. This is a great opportunity to reinforce what we've covered today. I encourage you to review that exercise carefully because it's designed to help you apply the concepts we've discussed in a practical way. Remember, doing the homework isn't just about completing the task. It's about deepening your understanding and making these ideas stick. Take your time with the questions, think critically, and try to connect the dots with the overall themes of this presentation. This exercise, along with the workbook activity, is meant to solidify your learning and prepare you for real-world application. So I really recommend you dedicate some focused effort to it. That's how mastery happens, through practice and reflection. Thanks for engaging so actively throughout this session. I look forward to seeing how you apply these concepts in your own work.